Hey loves, today I'm sharing more details about elementals and the problems it solve. For transformation that over 7 months will bring you to your greatest potential and support you with trauma release and really help you to have the best sex of your life while living life in its fullness and abundance. If you are interested in doing your trauma work with self-pleasure through a sensual journey, this is it for you. Let me explain more about it. Elemental will be available on recording for a year. You have 1 year to finish, and it will be run live in 28 weeks. Every 4 weeks, every moon cycle, we are addressing one element. I'm explaining what those elements are, why they are relevant, and what we get from them. I'm starting with my notes explaining the problems that I saw it solving in myself and in my clients. I haven't run Elemental as a group coaching, but I did on one-on-one. So those are some things that were solved, what I saw on the lives of my clients as per their report, as per me witnessing and in my own life. One has to do with safety. And by safety, I mean when you show up in the world and people have their own beliefs and I couldn't, and some of my clients couldn't really socialize because they had all those prejudices keeping them safe. So to give an example from a very shallow perspective would be, oh, their religion is different from mine. And in something deeper would be, oh, I can really feel comfortable around them because they believe whatever, something different from what I believe. I would give an example of something political or football support or religious, all those difficult topics, and they just couldn't feel safe. I also couldn't feel safe when I show up. And I'm in a social context where those values are not the same values I had. So I would isolate myself to be only in a comfortable zone. And that made me really struggle in my social life. So this is one of the examples. After Elemental, this will no longer be an issue because you will really learn the fluidity of water and the structure of earth. Back, of course, also loneliness, right? This is a thing that we really feel very lonely when we can't connect to people who think differently from us. Freedom. In which aspect? Because freedom is such a big concept, right? Freedom for me is very aligned with what Krishnamurti thinks of freedom, but I'm not going there now. It's a rabbit hole. Freedom for me was about wearing, in this example, about wearing what feels good. Saying, living, sounding, embodying what feels good rather than how it looks like. So if I'm in a place that my nervous system is asking me for a tongue up and an open eye, Kali style, I will just show up and do this without the concern of how does it look? Oh my God, people think about me. And clothes. Oh, I'm too fat to wear this. Oh, I'm too dark to wear this color. Oh, this is too loose, makes me look squared. Things like that. Now it's more like, oh, that feels so good. Oh, I feel so essential when I'm wearing this. Oh, I love to show up dressed that way. You know, that freedom that is now really cognitive. It's really about being confident in my self-expression without so much concerns of what people think of me. Yeah, so that's one of the things that Elemental brought for me and for some of my clients. And I love seeing them showing up in their essence, embodying their soul. And that comes from trauma work and further. Let me carry on. Otherwise, I will stop right here. There's so much to talk about each one of those aspects. I'm going also to address boredom. Boredom and anxiety, putting them in the same line, was such an issue for some of my clients. And boredom for me, yes, anxiety not so much. But that thing of not really being able to stay with the silence behind. So there's always a need of an entertainment or silence. Or noise in a way, even if it's music. If I go for a walk, I need my headset. If I'm doing anything, I need something entertaining me. I just cannot stay with silence. For the meditators out there, It may sound redundant, blah, blah. Okay, English. I'm Brazilian, guys. Yeah, but it may sound like, oh no, that's not an issue for me. But is it not? Because in meditation, when you're not thinking, it's kind of easier than actually allowing yourself to hear yourself and to have conversation with the parts that may not be so pretty. The shadow work is a big part of elemental. We got to descend to ascend, and we move between three realms. And that's very much the shamanic power of this coaching program. More about this later. So yeah, boredom and anxiety will not be problems for you anymore as much as they aren't for me if you do the work and if it's part of your journey. Obviously, I can't guarantee the results, but I can say there are tools specific for it. Joy, experience joy, and not think about joy or being happy, but actually experience joy through the turmoils of life, through cooking or cleaning up or driving or just trivial day being filled with pleasure and joy just from living the embodiment of your essence. That's something that I heard clients getting from Elemental, and I myself did. Empowerment that came from self-discipline, that accountability we have. Elemental has one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. And on that one-on-one, being witnessed on your failure and really diving deep to see what failure actually means and what problem actually means. I came to a point of not even believe problems anymore. Another rabbit hole. But yes, it's about having that ability to respond to life and feeling empowered through any wave, not fighting the ocean, but learning to surf the waves of life, if you know what I mean. As well as if you think of the morphic field and resonance, when you're doing the trauma work, the somatic work of releasing and living this new environment of the divine, you won't really resonate so much with the trouble, and you won't really need as much of chaos because many of those transformations were already facing rites of passages. And in that, you won't really be attracting as much problems to your life as you may had before. I had attracted a lot of similar issues in different environments through different countries, different religions, different relationships, but similar environment because they were a projection of what was within. And when those parts were arranged in harmony, then that harmony now reflects on my life, on the outside. And that's what we address with ritual, with the sacred, with remembering, with parts work. I hope that point was clear. But if it wasn't, if I would bring it in one line, is end of victimism. Welcome authenticity through parts work. Okay, let's carry on. Another thing that is there is emotion liberation. And I mix match things from different lineages and things I've studied in this. And I would say that is the strength of elemental. It's really how we embody the emotions as divine consciousness. And transmuting anger into compassion is a big one for me. And I tend to attract clients that have issues with anger. And it's wonderful to see them showing up, finding anger is an ally, and grief and sorrow, and really living life in its full spectrum rather than only what is accepted and positive, and having a whole realignment, breaking down conditioning and limit beliefs around their emotions, and really showing up in confidence, in radiancy through the fullness of life. So that's one of my favorite things. We really address emotions as a big part of this transformation. Energetic awareness, sex as sexual energy and sexual healing as supporting us to connect to the subtle energies and do a lot of energy work. And in this, it's very paced, journey to journey, person to person. And it's under Barbara Ann Brennan and Tantra and Taoism and shamanism. And you go, how do you explain this in such a short video? Well, you know what? Give me in the comments below your questions. If you've seen this in a different platform and you don't have the access to comments, email me, and yeah, I would love to clarify more about it and perhaps even make more videos about it. But at the moment, I'm just giving you what I think you need to know or what I feel that should be shared. Learn to manifest from your essence, from your soul, and really learn that discernment between what is a trauma response and what is your soul, the embodiment of the soul of Earth as our placenta connects to Pachamama and our own soul. Stopping fearing the wild. Stop fearing. Everything we fear in the wild may be a projection of what we feel fear in our soul. Darkness, beasts, insects, poison. Aren't they archetypes of what we haven't yet accepted in our own soul? So there's a lot of that work in Elemental. And for me, for example, I was terrified of spiders, arachnophobic, if you will. And now, again, my spider is an archetype that is literally a guide in my life. That's just one of the examples. Getting high on my aliveness. Having psychedelic trips, mood altering, just on my own aliveness. For me, particularly, no coffee, no stimulants. All this energy you get to see, it's so my own life force. And I've seen, I've heard from clients in sessions, like it really brought me to the highest level of ecstasy. They're understanding that ecstasy is their birthright from experiencing it on a daily life when doing something that they would normally do and even stress them, and now bring them so much of power, aliveness, joy, radiancy, and seeing their lives, their orders fulfilled. So yeah, those are things we address on Elemental. It might sound too good to be true, but it is. That's why I'm so passionate about this program. I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's going to run with the moon cycle. So that's why it starts on the 23rd of August. The cart is not open yet, but I'm already seeing people. So if you want to book a discovery call, if you want to sign up for the VIP list to get the emails, I'll be updating with more details on the upcoming day. Sign up. It's totally for free to sign up for the VIP list. The ones who will be on this priority list, the ones who will be receiving what is going on to make that decision. If you have already decided and you just want to contact me right away and be like, whoa, all the things you're listing are really things I want to live. Or if you're not yet sure, I will be running a 7-day trial for those who sign up to the priority list. When it's the last week before we launch, I will give access to 7 days trial, and sign up to the priority list if you are interested. There's so much more to address, and this is already getting so long. Bear with me. Here we go. I'm talking about 28 weeks, right? So I do need at least 28 minutes, maybe. Trust. This was a big one for me. I had so much of trust issues. I couldn't trust people. And basically, all my clients had the same issue in a way. They couldn't trust certain people. They couldn't trust certain circumstances. They were always complaining of political or environmental or other things that are changing and may threaten us, which has a lot to do with safety too. But now, the level of trust I embodied, this in itself would be enough for me to do the elemental journey again. I will do it again with you guys, because the feeling I have is that there is this web of life, the great spider, and I can fall on my back through whatever is being threatening me. And I know I will land in somewhere soft that is supporting my evolutionary purpose. Just having this experience, even when I'm crying, when I feel the angst, sometimes I would even cross like really deep, tender moments. But it's that subtle knowing that allows me to deep breathe again, that allows me to know, even if it's a death, is a rebirth. That trust, that real literal trust, that I don't have to be thinking about it. I embody and feel it. Well, I totally recommend. Yeah, self-regulation, big part of trauma work. And at the end of elemental, self-regulation, resourcing, containing will be second nature to you. We really work that in every session. Peace, even through the turmoils, comes from the trust. Feel great to be me. What do I mean? I remember sharing with my former lover about my experience being me, and he shared his. And at the end, I remember being like, wow, I wish I was him. It's so hard to be me when we put it this way. Constricted breath and some sort of floaty feet and some aching joints and inflammation. And this was very much my usual. And I remember being, oh my God, it's not everyone's experience. How can I get to live the way they do? And now, when I sit with scanning my body, when I do Vipassana, or when I'm just on my meditation, or when I'm just in silence observing life, I'm like, it's really yummy to be me. Love it. Mm, 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 mm. So this is one of the things that was a breakthrough for me, honestly. And coming to the end of this part is harmony, serendipity. Am I saying it right? Serendipity and coincidences. It feels like I always show up at the right place and always have the right people, and feel like things that are orbiting in my dreams or in my daily show up in a way, manifesting through occasions, through coincidences. I love that flow. Really tap into the flow of wholeness, of the creative power of the universe. So that's one of the things that happens to people who have done this elemental with me. And when we really connect to embodying our essence, strong intuition comes with this package, and resilience. Okay, so that's covered what are the transformations I've seen and why I call it elemental. If it wasn't clear yet, it was inspired by Maria Magdalena mysteries, and to explain what in like TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, which I have shared in other videos, how it saved my life, in the importance of aligning all the elements, like all the flavors and all the seasons, and for health, and in Ayurveda as well. So a lot for health, since all this unbalance and trauma responses really cost me a lot in my health. So that, as well as primordial creativity. And to explain what creativity means, not only this type of creativity, because yeah, I painted this, but it's numbers. Just to say I'm not like a great painter, but yes, it was a lot of fun. And creativity means for me, every time we do something we haven't done before. And in that way, for me, life on a daily life, each breath is an act of creativity. Because the breath you breathe in is not the same you've breathed before, you breathed before, and your body is not the same. So I guess you got the point. Elemental, because it's about this primordial mandala. So let me go through the elements to see if it makes sense to you, if this vocabulary is new to you. Fire is intuitive, it's spirit. So we work on the modules with things related to that. Earth, sensation, bone, structure. Air, breath, thinking. Water, feeling, blood, sound, voice, manifestation. Light work, of course, earth, air, fire, water. And we also work sound, light, and wholeness. If you have done my quiz, you have received your results. You probably already know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, get to iman.coach, my website, and try the integration map quiz. It's totally free. And you will know how those elements are doing on within you right now, what is balanced, what is unbalanced, what needs attention. And you will also get one email addressing each one of those elements that may be out of balance. And with this, you will also get a somatic tool helping you with this, and a guide also on a YouTube video that I have done for each one of those elements. So I'm really offering so much here for free because I believe that we are healing as collective. And by healing, I mean remembering who we are, living in this wholeness, connected to source, vibrating love itself. So wholeness, source, light, life. Again, another parallel to understand how we work the seven elements. Survival, earth. The universal principle, gravitation. Sexuality, water. Universal principle, polarity. Power, fire, combustion. Love, air, equilibrium, balance. Communication, sound, vibration. If you're curious to know how those things relate, sign up for Elemental. Intuition, light, luminescence. And that's around this module that people come across with not needing their glasses anymore, which is really much part of realigning the light, which works with our glands in our brain. Consciousness, thoughts, and priesthood. Earth, qualities, solid, dense, and we embody solid, dense. In embodiments, water, formless and fluid. Fire, radiating and transforming. Air, soft and spacious. Sound, rhythm and pulsation. Light, illuminating. Eyesight, third eye, if you will. And again, thought, medium of consciousness, high priest of the divine feminine that is our body, regardless of your gender. And finally, let's get to the structure of elemental. We work science, nervous system work, trauma work, shadow work, rituals, embodiment, sexual alchemy, sexual healing, ancestral work, movement. And the lineages that guide elemental are the ones that I have my background. By the way, I'm not the only coach of elemental, but if you choose, you can work with me or you can work with someone else in my team. But we get to know more about it when we have our one-on-one conversation. So if you sign up for a discovery call or grounding call, you will get the basics of ancestral work, transgenerational work, but it's not a free coaching session. That is the ancestral part addressed, but it's also a conversation to see if this is suitable for you. Before you invest 7 months on it, you really need to have this, hey, is that it? But I think this video already covers a lot. If you're watching this and you're like, aha, this makes sense to me, well, you got it. Sign up for the priority list. Tantra, family constellation, breathwork, and Byron Katie work, if you're familiar. That is it. I did not reach the 28 minutes as I thought I would. And if you want Q&A, I have a Q&A already there on the Elemental page, so check out. And if you want Q&A of something it's not there yet, email me, comment here below. I will be answering everyone. I really, really am looking forward to this program, this flagship. It's been a couple of years that I've been dreaming, designing, receiving, channeling it, and I have done it twice. And I, you know what? I can go unscripted talking about it and take your time forever, but I think you got the gist of it. If you want to know more, I have other videos here as well. So you may want to start by watching this video and binge on them all if you wish. Thank you so much for your time. I hope